As long as we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwu Okike Abiama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, nna anyị nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwu Abiama benigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth, Chukwu Okike Abiama, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet, I tell you. I lead it.
It's Young Flight in the mix.
The silver dead body with Biafra come. Umokoko, mad people everywhere. Dara. What you don't know is bigger than you. 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 Hey, he dey make me oh gaga. He dey make me oh gaga. He dey make me oh gaga. This your G, he dey make me oh gaga. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth. Yeah. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth. Yeah. He dey make me oh gaga. Mama, he dey make me oh gaga. In this G, he dey make me oh gaga. Sabotu asi dey make me oh for you. Obi dati, obi dem fools everywhere. Obi dati, obi dem fools everywhere. Obi dati, obi dem fools everywhere. When we talk about our freedom, we not go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. Yeah. He dey make me oh gaga. Mama, he dey make me oh gaga. In this LG, he dey make me oh gaga. Sabotu asi dey make me oh gaga. Biafra voice 247. Love you, we love you, everything me blue brother man, you know. We go crazy. Chiamaka Jaegan, Ogarras, Rastaman of God. Love you, yeah. Biafra, you know. Ikuku. Bad guy, you know, but the water master, love you. I can't have a go on. I get young and ways and a minute. All them enemies of Biafra. Mad people everywhere. You are living in smiling when we talk about our freedom. Now go to face. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling when we talk about our freedom. Go now go to face. He depend me for you. He depend me Gaga. Africans, he depend me Gaga. Listen, he depend me Gaga. He depend me Gaga. He depend me Gaga. I don't know what's wrong with the reasoning ability of a blonde man. My God. So I'm on that maximum respect. He depend me for you. He depend me Gaga. Africans, he depend me Gaga. Mr. G, he depend me Gaga.
Makana wapana kamadu Muna kudu kwenanya Lewa mirirure Oge sima kasunanu Oga think about your life Because the end is so Ndi mutu inusi Agwa wati matano di Eburisi ya na tesu Jiri ege kuha kwese Makano panu boko Opa tichiria, abona bosondo yango, ona yekuchikwe na kadara. Asi maburo kuno mare, ya buru biyaru, na mogara pala namu, sorondi bozo. Opa do maketo, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa mo paramsi. Na Biafra balamu, iya buna nene kambu paraya no. Baka no jife wata winyaka ye, akalobe ilo deseya. Oye wife wapara nifeya, nika waparuko. Biafra is my life. Biafra waparamu, and we must go back to our land. And the Kwanu to today. Ogonyega bara mufero, ifa unkemere ya 4 years ago. Gonna talk in me also, Bongo Roger Kuri Kahana. Mano yesu na bugoba mnalibu, wesi na chorowa Nigeria. Yabi go soro ndia usala ugausa, kani wazoro waneba. Maka no buru no ugausa, azegu governor is. Yoga tutakwambia usofuma.
All right. Welcome. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom.
Makana wapana kamadu Muna kudu kwenanya Lewa mirirure Oge sima kasunanu Oga think about your life Because the end is so Ndi mutu inusi Agwa wati matano di Eburisi ya na tesu Jiri ege kuha kwese Makano panu boko Opa tichiria, abona bosondo yango, ona yekuchikwe na kadara. Asi maburo kuno mare, ya buru biyaru, na mogara pala namu, sorondi bozo. Opa do maketo, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa mo paramsi. Na Biafra balamo, Diabula Nimino, Kabuparaya no.
All right. Papa Mugwaramu say na Biafra balana mo. Biafra is my home. Ni fobona nemene nuwa. Nambukwara ya no bi na Biafra baninna mo. Whatsoever that you are doing in the world today, I want you to understand that Biafra is your home. That is the only hope that we have today as a people. That is the only hope that we have today, moving forward to the future, including your children and unborn children. The only hope for existence is Biafra. Without Biafra, I want to assure you that there is no hope for the people of Biafra. As far as the ZøØ is concerned, there is no hope. Nothing is in store for Biafran people under the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. And I want to tell you that it's not only for Biafran people, including those that claim to be Nigerians. They have no hope for future, because those that their destinies have been placed upon, I'm talking about the politicians, have nothing in store for them. That is to show you how bad it is. Welcome to this very live presentation. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, my wonderful people of Biafra. Wherever you are joining me from, I say you are highly welcome to this very live presentation. We are live and direct, and I want to assure you that Chukwokikabia Mabineli Igwe is bearing us witness. We are broadcasting on one platform, just only but one platform. That is how we have, decided to do this very evening. So please, once you are here, endeavor to welcome others. We are just on one platform, which is our newly created Biafra Unite TV. That is where we have decided to broadcast this very evening. We are not on Facebook. We are not broadcasting on Facebook today, but some people who are on Facebook, of course, may either live stream or share our broadcast, which is very, very welcome. All right, we are planning to create a new Facebook page, because all the pages we have on Facebook, over 3 to 4 Facebook pages belonging to Biafra Unite, have all been attacked, and the reach and the recommendation or distribution of all our broadcasts and videos on those platforms have been attacked and tampered. Therefore, we are going to create a new one. So just get ready. Those of you who are always on Facebook, get ready. Very, very soon, we are going to flaunt a new Facebook page. One thing is for sure: gospel must be preached. This very gospel of redemption must continue to be preached, irrespective of what we encounter moving forward. And we are not afraid. I don't know about every other person, but me personally, Ordinary, I am not afraid to start afresh. This is one thing you must know today, and including you listening to me right now, in your personal life, in your personal lifestyle, apart from the struggle, in your own lifestyle, you must not be afraid to start afresh. This is something that I want you to go home with today. Today's date is, of course, 28th of June, 2024, and the time right now is exactly 20 minutes past 8 p.m. here in the land of Chukwokikabia Maprimi Fenine, in the land of Biafra. We are live and direct, and of course, I want to welcome some of you that I have seen your comments in the comment section. Please, if I welcome you, endeavor to welcome others. And for the fact that we have already so many comments in the comment section in the live chat, I may not be able to mention all of you, but once I do, please, I want you to do the needful. If I do not mention your name, do not worry, keep commenting. Your comment will draw my attention, and of course, I will be able to bring it to the screen. Okoma Igwe, you are welcome. I can see you in the comment section. Daniel Emeruwa, you are welcome. Benjamin McFancy, you are welcome. Donascalo, you are welcome. Chilo Uzozie, Amy Sami, Victor Mbwemen, Onyenkem, you are welcome. Sonny, I can see you. Esto Okuosa, that is an old name. You are welcome to this very live show. Joe Reggae, you're welcome. Azoka Best, you are welcome. Amy Sami, you're welcome. Orus Official. Oh my goodness me. Lotana Odumegu, I am seeing a lot of Ndioche Ibem in the comment section. Martininze, you're welcome. Okenwa Chimezie, you're welcome. Shady AGK, you're welcome. Mary Zumbe, I can see you. Prince Denny, Mecca, you're welcome. Oh my goodness me, the names are too many, they keep coming. Oh, Bakobi, you're welcome. Uchenni Loka, you're welcome. Ndubisiobi, Ngolu Friday, I can see you. Frankie, you're welcome. Ngoli Sachinyere, you're welcome. Happy May, I can see you. Oba, oh my goodness me. Ayu Chenna, you are welcome. Alozie, I can see you. Frankie Be. Ike Bedestin, Ike, you are welcome. Opaka, I can see you. Elizabeth, Mecca, Frankie, Prince. Oh my goodness me, the names are too much. Please, we have to continue. If I do not mention your name, I beg you not to be grudges on me, because we have to continue without further hesitation. We've got something to talk about this very evening. Tedius Ike Chuku, you're welcome. Stephen Chooks, you're welcome. Chinonso, I can see you. Obi Martins, Bruno King, Vincent Okoro, Agon Obani, Obi Martin. I mentioned you already. Chinedu, you're welcome. Innocent Wachi, you're welcome. Mwabala, you're welcome. Kingsley Isaac, Ubenede, Obi. Oh my goodness. Okay, right now we have to continue. Thank you all. Thank you all. Please keep commenting, keep liking, keep sharing the broadcast as we move. Endeavor to welcome others. Everybody must be aware that we are live and direct right now. And of course, Jehovah is always with us. We are not going to take your time this very evening. We have come to do the needful, because in the Boturino Sinon Abanuba Joso Abaya Jebe. Without wasting any time, something to we'll be discussing this very evening. And of course, I want you to pay very, 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 very good attention, because it is very, very important. Going by the title of this very live presentation this very evening, which I have said, Nnamdi Kanu's release / dismantling the ZøØ media lies and propaganda against Biafra. Dismantling the ZøØ media lies and propaganda against Biafra / Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. Dismantling ZøØ media lies and propaganda against Biafra, and of course, the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. When I say IPOB, I am not talking about those that have categorized themselves as DOS, Nigeria Limited, West Africa. DOS, Nigeria, West African Limited. I am talking about the genuine Biafrans, the genuine indigenous people of Biafra, not as organization, But as a people, I have said it before that this IPOB is not an organization. It is a blood. It is a blood that runs through our vein. Anybody telling you about IPOB being an organization is those who are making money out of IPOB, and they have never for one day thought about truly achieving Biafra. And they are those who call themselves the leadership, and of course the DOS, Nigeria, West African Limited. So they are not the reason why we are here this very evening. And of course, I am happy also without wasting any time. Now I've got some video, not some video, I have a video that we will be treating and talking about this very evening. So if you look at I want us to see the title of this very video. The title. I want us to see the title first. Now, look at what they wrote here. Just look. They said, issues with Jide. Of course, you know who is Jide? The Afonso that works with TVC. The Afonso, he's the one they call Jide, the MKO or MOK or whatever they call him. He's the one they call Jide. Now, look at their title. They said, they said, Nnamdi Kanu begs federal government. Nnamdi Kanu begs federal government, says, please, let's settle. Hey, hello, Melo. Hello, Melo, honestly speaking. Hello, Melo. Now imagine a video that has over 23,712 views. 23,712 views. But it has only 206 likes. Can you imagine that? A video with 23,000 views and has only 200 likes. That is to show you. That is to show you that, you know, they are just fooling themselves. They are just fooling. How can you make this title? Nnamdi Kanu begs federal government, says, please, let's settle. Nnamdi Kanu begs federal government. Begs federal government. Only because they want to sell. Because they want to sell. Just because they want to sell. They want to gather viewership. They want to get views. They want people to view, because, you know, they believe that with the, you know, with the title is going to be catchy and people are going to view it. And if you go through the comments, you'll be shocked. You will be shocked. Now, that is the start. That is just the beginning. Let us now see the nonsense they are talking about. Let's just see their idiocy. Let us watch their idiocy. Of course, as soon as possible, I will be opening the line for Biafrans to call in, of course, make their contribution. Very, very important, because no be only me go tear them apart this very evening. No be only me. I will allow other Biafrans to, of course, do the needful. Now, let's listen to them. Umokoko.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Issues with Jide. Here we'll talk about actions and inactions of those who shape our political and national landscape and how these impact us positively or otherwise. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Today on the show, Nnamdi Kanu begs federal government, says, please, let's settle. In the course of the program, we take your questions, but first, subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop a question to the comment section. It's important to mention that we can only read comments with human names and the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom, the maestro himself, Babajide Kolado Studio. Good to see you again, BK.
Please, once you are joining.
Right, BK, can you hear me?
Once you join me, keep liking and sharing the broadcast. Very, very important. Once you join
can you hear me?
Okay, now.
Right, I just
said good to see you. I just welcomed you to the show.
So
thank you.
Right.
So let's get right into it. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, says he's open to prospects of negotiation with the federal government. Mr. Kanu's lawyer told the court that his client is open to exploring a settlement with the federal government under Section 17 of the Federal High Court, the Federal High Court Act. Way to go, Mikhail.
Yes. I've always wanted that, and for the past 2 years, I've been asking for that. There are those who think that I do not like the Southeast. I do not like our friends from the Southeast. But I would say there's no Nigerian on TV. There's no Nigerian on TV who has consistently demanded that there should be a negotiated settlement in the conflict between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. I have always demanded for that. I've been very consistent. And I'm very sure that no Nigerian journalist on TV has demanded as much as I've done that Nnamdi Kanu that the federal government should negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu with a view to freeing him. But I've also said repeatedly that the settlement cannot be on Nnamdi Kanu's terms, that the government would have to give some conditions that Kanu has to agree, for example, to give up armed struggle against his country. Kanu has to stop doing anything that is treasonable or encouraging people to take to violence.
Now, you see this idiot that claims to be a journalist and educated individual, this moron, he does not understand the meaning of treasonable offense and freedom fighting. This mumu man said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should stop anything that will go against his own country. Whose country? Is there any? Did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tell you that he is a Nigerian? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it on a live broadcast that I am not a Nigerian. He said, I am a Biafran. Do you know the meaning of treason? Treason is a crime. The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to buy or overthrow the sovereign of government, the sovereign or the government. Overthrow the sovereign. Yes, that is, I think that is the right word. Attempting to overthrow a government. That is treason. To buy or overthrow a government. That is treason. I don't know if this idiot called Jide is listening. Please keep liking and sharing because we have come here to educate some idiots that claim to be educated. Keep liking and sharing, please. Do you know the difference, the meaning of treason? Jide, J-O-K or M-O-K or whatever they call you. Do you know the meaning of treason and freedom fighting or demand for freedom? When you talk about treason, that means somebody is attempting either to buy the head of state or to overthrow the government. It has absolutely nothing to do with freedom fighting or demand for freedom. When you talk about freedom fighting, you are talking about, or a freedom fighter, let me put it that way. When you talk about a freedom fighter, you are talking about a person who takes part in a revolutionary struggle to achieve a political goal. A political goal. This political goal is not about okay, our own freedom fighting, because I have done this before. Freedom fighting can as well be, explained in 2 different ways, or 3, or even 4. You can fight for a political freedom, financial freedom, equity and fairness, and all that. There is the freedom you fight for you, like what is happening in, I don't want to use Kenya for example for any reason whatsoever. Let me use NSAS as an example, even though they did not succeed. God forbid, I can never use Kenya for example, even though they are doing something good, but in a wrong way. They are fighting for their a better future under a fraudulent foundation, because as a country, Kenya as a country is a fraud. Likewise, every other African country in Africa. Yes, so they are fighting for a just cause, but in a wrong direction. In a wrong way. So let me use NSAS as an example, which is the same thing. The same thing happening in Kenya today is the same thing with NSAS. Just the same. No, there's no difference. But let me use NSAS as an example because that's what happened here. It happened here. So now, what am I trying to say? When they try to fight during the NSAS, all of those people who protested, all of them, all from A to Z, that protested during the NSAS are all freedom fighters. They are all freedom fighters. But what type of freedom are they fighting? Or did they fight for? They fought for economic freedom. They fought for economic freedom and good governance under the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. Are you paying attention? That is what I'm talking about. So by the time you talk about this freedom fighting of NSAS, it has absolutely nothing to do with what we are doing today. We are fighting for our freedom from enslavement, from oppression, from illegal amalgamation of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. So it has nothing to do with those who said they want good governance. they are also freedom fighters. So what we are doing is this. We want to be free from the ZøØ while allow the ZøØ to continue with whatever they are doing. The ZøØ president will remain, the cabinet will remain, the other part of the ZøØ will continue with their lives, including this GD of 18. They will all continue with whatever they are doing in the ZøØ, while we, the Biafran people, will be free. That is the kind of freedom we are fighting. It has nothing absolutely to do with the matter of treason. Because as far as I'm concerned, Nnamdi Kanu has never, for one day, tried to overthrow either Muhammadu Buhari or Tinubu. Never. Now let's continue listening to this man.
And I'm convinced that if Kanu will agree to give up armed struggle against his fatherland, then there is nothing wrong in looking for an out-of-court settlement on this matter.
He said against his fatherland. Why do you want to foster? Why do you want to, I'm searching for that word to use. Why do you want to force somebody to belong to where he does not want to belong? Because you are a typical, if I can say a typical black man, no, they cannot bone me because I'm a black man. Which word should I use to qualify to compare the stupidity and the idiocy of this idiot? Somebody told you, I am not a Nigerian, I am a Biafran. And here you are saying, if you can stop to fight against his fatherland. Whose fatherland is Nigeria? Whose fatherland is Nigeria? Please, somebody should let me know. Somebody should help me. Somebody should advise me in the comment section. Whose fatherland is Nigeria? Whose fatherland? Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody's fatherland is Nigeria. If you want to go back to the foundation, somebody came all the way from Europe, from Britain, after the balkanization of Africa in Germany in 18-something, and then somebody came from United Kingdom to say, from today, you Igbo man, you Hausa man, you Yoruba man, you are now Nigeria. And you want me to call it a fatherland? Is there any time Igbo man, Hausa man, Yoruba man came together and say, let us build a nation as one people? Was there any time like that? So how can it be a fatherland? Something that was fostered on us. Now, let's listen to him.
Consistently demanded for that. And I also said recently, when Nnamdi Kanu granted an interview in court, where he was saying that if he was released, the minute he's released, the violence in the Southwest will stop. That is because he's in detention, that some little fries are running around instigating violence and causing the deaths of people. I said at that time that this indicated that Kanu was gradually softening up his position, that Kanu was gradually showing signs of someone prepared to give up his struggle in exchange for peace, because he spoke that day.
You cannot be I can't even say fostering, because there's nothing like that. You cannot be forcing word into somebody's mouth. Jide, or whatever they call you. Stop forcing words into the mouth of Nnamdi Kanu or Biafrans at large. Nnamdi Kanu has never said that he wants to give up the fight for Biafra for his freedom. He also told us in the past that there are 3 places for freedom fighters. Number 1 is in prison. Number 2 is in exile, and number 3 is in the grave. Nnamdi Kanu told us he knew from beginning. So you cannot be forcing words into somebody's mouth. Yes. Let's continue listening to him. That is a big lie. Nnamdi Kanu has never for one single day said that he is going to give up his agitation for freedom just simply because he wants to be released. Just because he wants to be free. He never said anything like that, Jide, or whatever they call you.
And when he said that subversive actions against the government were being carried out by some people,
you see, lies and deceit. Jide, or whatever you call yourself, Jide, or whatsoever you call yourself, Nnamdi Kanu never in any way said people carry now subversive action against the government. No. Hey, if I had known, I would have prepared that very video. My goodness me. Please, can somebody send me the video of Nnamdi Kanu, not this last one. The time he said if he is released under 2 minutes, that the crime in the southeast will end. The crime in Biafra land will end. I think that's his 2 or 3 previous court appearance. Last 2 or 3 court appearance. I think so. Can somebody help me send it to my WhatsApp number? If you have the WhatsApp number and you have that video, can you send me that video? Because if I start searching for it right now, I'm going to either deviate or, spend more time searching for that very video. If you have the video, send it to my WhatsApp, please.
Subversive actions against the government were being carried out by some people.
Jide, you are a liar. I hate it when people lie. I hate it when people lie. Because of that, I'm going to search for that video now. But if you have it, please send it to me right now, because I will have to search it. I will have to search for that video. This is a big lie. I hate it when people lie. When people lie in the public, especially on radio or TV. How could you say a thing like that? How could you say a thing like that? I am searching for that video. I wonder, nobody has been able to send me the video on WhatsApp. Nobody has been able to send me the video on WhatsApp. It's quite unfortunate. I'm searching for that video, and by the special grace of God, in no distant time, I will get it. I will definitely get it. I will get it. In fact, I'm on it. I'm on it. Nnamdi Kanu said, he made it clear that people are using the opportunity to carry out criminal activities in Biafra land because he is in the DSS dungeon. That if he is released in 2 minutes' time, that nonsense will stop. So he also said that they are using, he said that people are benefiting. And who are the people benefiting? The politicians. The governors are benefiting. This is something we go deep in analyzing things and finding out the truth. We don't just listen and watch videos and then so be it, because we understand the English word that the person is saying or whatsoever. No. It's quite unfortunate. If I had known that I would come here, I would have prepared this very video long ago, even before now. But I will get it for sure. Yes, I think I've seen it. I have seen it. I have seen it. I have actually seen it. Now, people did not understand. People did not understand what Nnamdi Kanu was talking about. Even some of them went to the extent of tagging Simon Ekpa. Nnamdi Kanu is talking to Mazi Simon Ekpa. He's the one, all those Indian Zama. They went to the extent of even saying that, hey, it's because of Simon Ekpa. Blah, 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 blah. I have seen the video. Let me teach this idiot called Jide. If you are joining me right now, please endeavor to share the video. Very, very important. We are live and direct. We are live and direct. Please endeavor to share the video so that more people will be able to join this very broadcast right now. Very, very important. Now, look at here. Let's watch this video.
We are here to fight for freedom, for justice, equity, and fairness. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more, nothing less. And we cannot be cowed by anybody. We are without fear before our enemies. And we speak the truth always. I want all the journalists here arrayed to go and ask government of Nigeria, what happened to treasonable felony? Where are those charges today?
From 2015.
They have just disappeared because they have no evidence against me. Anybody committing crime cannot go scot-free. I swear it. They cannot go scot-free. Anybody involved in any type of crime in the East cannot go free. And they're doing it because I'm in DSS. That's what, if I want to say, no idiot can try this rubbish. And they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit.
You see that? You see? Where is the idiot called Jide? Where is the idiot? I want that idiot to come here. If you are on Twitter or Facebook, tag that stupid man called Jide, who lies to the public on television. You are lying on television, twisting what Nnamdi Kanu said, twisting it. Let's hear that again.
This rubbish, and they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. Yes. They are making money with insecurity. That's correct.
What else are we talking about? That the people in government are complicit. They are making money with insecurity. And who are they working with? The DOS, Chinasanwohu, because Soludo told us. Or do you still want me to go and search for Soludo's video? I know my like Ikuoku Arigo say. Soludo said that, look, they are working with he called them the repentant IPOB members. He called the DOS. Listen and listen very good. Soludo called the DOS repentant IPOB members. He said they had meeting with the DOS. He mentioned their names, DOS. He said they had meeting with the DOS and they agreed to work together. Solu, can somebody help me and send me that video? Because I don't do propaganda. Once I tell you, I show you. You see with your own eyes. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know what is propaganda. I don't know what is propaganda. I they talk, I they show you. You go to see with your own eyes. So that tomorrow you don't say, you see? So Soludo said that they had meeting with the DOS and they agreed to work together. They agreed to work together. Chai. So Nnamdi Kanu now telling you that he knows that some people in the government are complicit. I don't know if you're paying attention. That he knows that some people in the government are complicit. That they are making money with insecurity in the East. So, I remember he started by telling you that he was talking about those committing crime in the Southeast. In the East. He didn't say Southeast. In the East. So when he said people are complicit, he is telling you, he mentioned it. He knows that some people in the government are complicit because of what? They are making money with insecurity. And he said he condemned any type of crime and criminality in the East, which is the same thing we have been saying and doing. Condemning and fighting against crime. Condemning and fighting against insecurity. Condemning and fighting against criminal activities in our land. That is the reason why we are fighting today. Because we want to live in peace as a people. Yes, we want to live as in peace as a people. So, when Nnamdi Kanu told you that some people are that the government officials are making money with insecurity because of what? They are working with some criminal element to cause insecurity in the East. We already know who he's talking about. Before they used to carry out propaganda, Simon Ekpe is a government boy, this and that, blah, 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 blah. So, until now that the same government that they claim he's working for is looking for him, wherever he goes. Musa said that they're supposed to take him out. I don't know if you heard that word from Musa. Musa said, who happens to be the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, that they need to take him out of whatever he is doing. This is the word of Muhammad Musa. Are you paying attention? That they need to take him out of whatsoever he is doing. So now, since it is now open, that the same government that is claimed that Simon Ekpa is working for is now looking for him to take him out. Why the same Simon Ekpa they have been calling up and down keep doing the same thing that he is doing to free his people? Nobody is talking again. Nobody that matter of being a government boy, that matter has been buried. Nobody talks about it again. So now, yes, I think I have seen that video. I think I have seen that video. On Ademane Ekwekwane Egosi. Koale Dekaya Neme propaganda. We hate propaganda. We hate lies. We hate deceit. So now that Nnamdi Kanu has made it clear that the government officials are making money with crime in the East. Let's play that again so that we can show Soludo.
Because no idiot can try this rubbish, and they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. Yes. They are making money with insecurity. That's correct. They are making money with it. They know Nnamdi Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give another in the East, and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you.
Now.
Nobody can.
Now, it is clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has told you, of course, there are people who are causing insecurity in the East, right? People are causing insecurity in the East. And who are the people using them? The government officials. The government officials are using them to cause insecurity in the East. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said. Now, I want us to see who are these government officials, the governors, and who are the people they are using to cause insecurity in the East. Let us pay attention and watch this. Pay attention, please. Very, very, very important. Let us see it. Who are these people? Who are the people causing insecurity? Let's listen to this.
Okay. And yesterday, all right.
Please let me know if my voice is coming out clear. Let me know before we continue. If you can hear me, please let me know. I want to confirm if my voice is coming out clear. Let me know in the comment section, please. Let me know in the comment section if my voice is coming out clear so that we can continue. Very, very important, please. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Very, very important, please, so that we can continue.
Governor, is on one hand, this entity has been prescribed by the federal government, and I'd like to know that for good, sit-at-home idea is gone and dead, is it?
Yes, it's good that you talked about prescription and non-prescription. You know, there is the factor and the jaw. I mean, you can prescribe anyone and then say you have, but what is on ground? It's a very well organized group with capacities in many ways, and the time comes when you realize that it's not everything. You can't shoot an idea with a gun. You can't shoot an ideology with a gun. And so when you see it exclusively as a law enforcement matter, then you miss the point.
I need that particular place where he talked about the people they are now working for or working with. Sorry.
We got to engage them. We got to engage everyone to really understand the roots of this. And that's why we're setting up also a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which will be announcing the membership tomorrow. And we need to get to the root and the remote and immediate causes of this, incessant unrest, agitations, insecurity. The agitations that now dovetailed into an existential threat to the entire homeland of the Southeast. And so they remain potent, they remain
out there, I mean, aggressively everywhere. And others sit at home for over a year now, and that has been obeyed. And you say you prescribe them, but they still affect the way ordinary people live in society. So at some point, you got to say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? You got to engage, like I said, differently and seriously. And the Truth and Reconciliation Commission will get to the root of this matter, where the remote over the last few years and the circumstances of their death, especially of the last few years. I wouldn't even know how many of the youths of the company. And the person dies. We don't want to treat all this and understand the circumstances of their death. And so we will be able to put together the roadmap with full knowledge. In Nigeria today calls for a sit-down serious aware. Pervasive, you'll hear about the whole airport train station, train movement being very seriously, and in an open manner to engage everyone and believing that everyone has some contribution to make. So the criminals were even offering them an olive branch to repent. Come out. In today's reading, the church, where, I don't condemn you and sin no more, but sin no more. So to them, we're also saying we're not condemning you. Sin no more. Come out today. Surrender those arms. And that's, like I said, it's existential. Our agenda on economic transformation, on getting the social agenda, on the environment, on governance, and so on and so forth, will not be firm unless we can deal with.
No, this is not the video. Although it's still this same, interview, but I want that video, that very one, that the place, not the very one, the place where Soludo talked about how they had, how they met with the DOS, reached an agreement with them, and of course, they are now working together. That is the particular video that I'm looking for, so that we can be able to clear that side where this man lied, against Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know if anybody has that video. I think I've gotten that one. I don't know if I have gotten, I don't know if it's this video. But let's listen to this one. Let's listen to this one. I want you to pay attention, please. This is very, very important.
On the 17th of last month, and barely 2 weeks now on the saddle. Yes, we've had chance now to see what's on ground. I applied for this job. For better or for worse, we're going to try as much as we can, give it our all to deliver to the people of Anambra State. No excuses. Nobody promised that it was going to be an easy ride, and you may expect that the debt is maybe, it is 1,000 feet deep, but you still got to survive. In spite of all the challenges, actually being complicated by the humongous security, we've got no excuses. Financing options that we're going to explore, the people of Nigeria, and the talent and skills as well. We're going to livable and prosperous homeland. So yes, you're right. The challenges are there, but we're fairly confident about that. Well, the solution agenda. In 2 weeks, what we've been able to even do. The number one existential threat today in Nigeria is security, right? And the Southeast in particular. We've got cracking on that. And we've had several interestingly. We're going to engage all the stakeholders. They deal with the kinetic part, able to deal with the problems. Engagement is critical. They sit at home, and our people, the leadership of the Southeast, the traditional rulers and bishops, archbishops, and the entire clergy are with us on this. IPOB is with us on this, and we are moving forward on this. Tomorrow there will be statewide and even Southeast regional prayer sessions in all churches and everywhere, and that will officially mark the end of the sit-at-home agenda. Of course, the criminals are going to resist, try to play hanky-panky here and there, but I mean, we keep prodding on. There is no surrender, no surrender. We must get quiet.
Okay. Oh my goodness, we people are not helping the matter. Does it mean that there's nobody? Oh my goodness me. Does it mean that there's nobody has that particular video, that few minutes video, that very few minutes video where Soludo said is quite unfortunate. I never knew I was going to delve into this matter today. If not, I would have made it. I would have prepared for it and get that video ready, so that when I'm talking about it, I don't have to go into research. I will just play it directly from the studio. It's quite unfortunate. Soludo said that they have engaged, they have meeting with DOS. He mentioned their name, DOS, and they have agreed to work together. I know those of you listening to me, you are aware of what I'm saying, but I want to play it for that idiot Jide in case he has forgotten or he didn't watch the video, because this thing has taken, this is almost 2 to 3 years now that it happened. Yes, 2 to 3 years now, but it's a must. It's a must. I will find that video. It is a must. Just take it from me. I will find that video even in this same broadcast, not tomorrow. Now,
remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle, as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why they were.
All right. Please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. We had a kind of technical issues. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. I believe we are back. I believe we are back. Can you hear my voice? Please let me know in the comment section so we can continue. We have to continue immediately without wasting any time. I have actually gotten the video that I was looking for. I have gotten the video. All right, if you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, I can see your comment. You can hear me. All right, we have to continue immediately without any further hesitation. Now, let me first of all play the Soludo's video where he confirmed the people he is, or they, the politicians, are working with. And then we will connect the dot with the statement of Nnamdi Kanu. Remember that when the statement of Soludo was made, Nnamdi Kanu was not outside. Or Nnamdi Kanu is not outside. Are you getting me? So we are going to connect the dot with the statement of Nnamdi Kanu, and then we bring it back to that very madman called Jide.
The allegations of IPOB and all of that. But IPOB has come out and emphatically said, and I believe them, that they are no.
When he talks about IPOB, he is talking about DOS. Or is there any other person that has been claiming IPOB and leadership or whatever? Is it not IPOB DOS since Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and renditioned to the zoo? Now let's listen to him.
The allegations of IPOB and all of that. But IPOB has come out and emphatically said, and I believe them, that they are no longer part of this criminal gang, as it were. And they are now working with us. And we'll probably see their own actions in the next few days. And the people are waiting to see what they can or cannot do to join us. And we called on them on the day of our inauguration. That if you are not part of this, come here and all of that. But IPOB has come out and emphatically said, and I believe them, that they are no longer part of this criminal gang, as it were. And they are now working with us.
Did you get that? And they are now working with us. Of course, we cannot forget when they acquired a lot of ESN commanders, including Double Lion. The buying of Double Lion was very, very loud because they celebrated it. China Sanwo-Olu posted it when they were parading his body with a Hilux van belonging to the Soludo's, government. It was widely celebrated on social media by the criminals, who have been fighting so hard to stop Biafra from coming. Now let's listen to it again.
Working with us, and we'll probably, as it were. And they are now working with us, and we'll probably see their own actions in the next few days. And the people are waiting to see what they can or cannot do.
Did you get that? This is okay now. This is very, very okay now. He said that, and they are now working with us. That is the statement of Chukwuma Soludo, one of the Southeast governors, that Nnamdi Kanu said he suspects that some politicians are what? What's that word he used? Are complicit. That they are making money out of insecurity in the East. Are you paying attention? So now we are going back to that idiot called Jide. We are going back to his broadcast or analysis, his propaganda. Let us now, we have connected the dots where Soludo said they are now working with the DOS members of IPOB, and then Nnamdi Kanu saying that the politicians, which of course the governors, are benefiting from the insecurity going on in the East. And we know what China Sanwo-Olu stands for. We know what China Sanwo-Olu can do. We know what his dead man squad can do. Now, let me bring it back to Jide.
This indicated that Kanu was gradually softening up his position, that Kanu was gradually showing signs that where he was saying that if he was released, the minute he's released, the violence in the Southwest will stop. That is because he's in detention, that some little fries are running around instigating violence and causing the deaths of people. I said at that time that this indicated that Kanu was gradually softening up his position, that Kanu was gradually showing signs of someone prepared to give up his struggle in exchange for peace, because he spoke that day. And when he said that subversive actions against the government were being carried out by some people, all because...
You see? Let him finish. Let him finish.
He was not around. I almost did meant were being carried out by some people in exchange for peace, because he spoke that day.
He said that Kanu is ready to give up his agitation for freedom just for a mere release from DSS custody. Just to give up his agitation to free his own people and his land. Over 70 million Biafran people who are yearning for freedom from the shackles of the damnable zoological republic. That Nnamdi Kanu is ready to give up. That is what this idiot said. I wish I could bring his face alone here. That Nnamdi Kanu's statement has proven that he is ready to give up his freedom, his fight for freedom, just for a mere release from the DSS custody. Now, let's listen to him. The reason why I played all this video that I've been looking for, let's listen to him.
And when he said that subversive actions against the government were being carried out by some people, all because he was not around.
Did you hear Nnamdi Kanu saying subversive actions have been, played against the government because it's not around? Did you ever hear people, my people in the comment section, please, did you hear anything like that from Nnamdi Kanu? That subversive actions were carried out against the government. Did you hear anything like that from Nnamdi Kanu? Nnamdi Kanu was very, very strict. He said that people in the government, the politicians, he mentioned their names, the politicians are benefiting, that they are making money from insecurity in the East. That is the word of Nnamdi Kanu. He never said that subversive actions are being carried out against the government. Which government are you talking about? When the government you are talking about, the people serving under the government are the ones using some criminal elements like China Sanworu to commit crimes in our land. And Nnamdi Kanu is against it. When we say people should sit at home, China Sanworu will organize his criminal gang, a group of gangsters and dead man squad. They will go and, burn shops, destroy some goods of people. They will take the video, even when people are sitting at home. Listen, when people are sitting at home, when people are sitting at home, they will go and burn shops, take videos and post it on the social media. Post it on the social media. And you ask, who snapped the pictures? Who took the videos? Who took the videos? People are sitting at home. So who took the videos? They went to Ebony State, destroyed the market women's business, okra and other things. They posted it. Who took that close range video? Who took the close range video? They took the video by themselves. They posted it and they tagged it Simon Ekpa Boys. They tag it Simon Ekpa Boys. So Nnamdi Kanu has never made that comment that subversive actions are being carried out against the government. Which government are you talking about, Jide?
I almost didn't believe that it was Nnamdi Kanu that was talking. At that point, I felt, look, this is a clear sign that Kanu's position had changed. He is no longer the stoic tough talking and avant-garde secessionist campaigner that we had become accustomed to. I also said that following from what Nnamdi Kanu did when Senator Ifeanyi Ubah and Eze Chukwuemeka, the traditional ruler of Enugu Aguleri, Ogugad, which
so you
is
know those people.
The Ile-Ife of the Southeast, which is the source of the Igbo race. When they visited him in detention, in the DSS detention facility, Nnamdi Kanu agreed to out-of-court settlement. I mean, Nnamdi Kanu agreed not to out-of-court settlement. He agreed to put an end to the sit-at-home that he instituted in the first place. You know?
You see, did you hear him? That he instituted in the first place. Do you see the lies and propaganda, lies and deceit? Can you imagine what this man is saying? Please, if you are joining me, try and like and share this very broadcast. It's very, very important. Can you imagine the lies from pit of hell? Let's hear that again.
That he instituted in the first place. You know, it put an end to the sit-at-home that he instituted in the first place. You know?
Seriously? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for avoidance of doubt. For the avoidance of doubt. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not, or has never, or did not in any way authorize, advised, or instituted sit at home. We are talking about the Monday sit at home. GD, or whatever they call you, NKO or whatever. I don't care to know your name because as far as I'm concerned, you are nobody. I'm analyzing this because I want to debunk the lies from TVC, not the lies from GD, because as far as I'm concerned, you are nobody. I'm analyzing this to debunk the lies from the TVC, television, owned by Tinubu. Somebody says ZøØ is panicking. They are panicking. They are panicking. So there is no way, no how that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu instituted Monday sit at home. Monday sit at home was instituted by the people of Biafra. We, the people of Biafra, instituted sit at home. By the way, to be honest, because I'm a very, very straightforward person, to be honest, the first person that mentioned sit at home, the first ever person after the kidnap and rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the first ever person who mentioned sit at home that we are carrying out today is Mazi Simon Ekpa. We have done all these analyses many years ago, since 2021, 3 years ago. Since late 2021, we did all this analysis. We brought the video when Mazi Simon Ekpa was calling for sit at home since 2021, after the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And he was ignored. He was ignored by the criminals in the DOS, not knowing that they are the ones who even sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, until the whole thing began to, unravel. All the evidences began to come out and everything. Both their actions and the inactions, everything began to point towards the same angle, that they are the ones that sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So Mazi Simon Ekpa is the first ever person. Please, if you know what I'm talking about right now, I want you to acknowledge it in the comment section. If you saw the video, if you watched the video that we circulated in the year 2021, when Mazi Simon Ekpa was calling for sit at home after the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let me know in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about, because I always like when I'm talking, I like to see people's response and reaction, so that people who are not aware of what I'm saying do not feel as if I'm lying, or maybe I'm the one who even carrying out propaganda. So people should, acknowledge it if I'm saying the truth. If you know what I'm talking about, comment, say, acknowledge it in the comment section. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned to the zoo. Immediately, not quite long, Mazi Simon Ekpa began to call for sit at home, but he was ignored by the criminals who supposed to announce it. After all said and done, on the 23rd of July, almost 1 month later, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to, forcefully and illegally brought back to the zoo, almost 1 month later, these criminals in the Chineke Nabruono, they now came out on Radio Biafra then and announced Monday sit at home to begin on the 9th of August. So, and by that time, when it was announced, they had no connection, they had no communication, they had no interaction with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing. Nobody, none of them. Even this man called Ifajuna Ejiofor had never been allowed to go and visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has not even seen him. Yes. He had not even seen, not allowed. If I say allowed, it looked as if he tried to go. No. Ifajuna Ejiofor had not gone to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because if I say has not been allowed, it looks as if he wanted to go and see him, but DSS did not allow him. No. So now, when that announcement was made on the 23rd of July, after one month later, after his rendition, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never spoken to anybody. The first time they brought him to court, he was blindfolded. He never spoken to anybody. Ifajuna did not even go to the court, even though he knew that his so-called client had been renditioned to the Zoological Republic. He never went to visit, he never appeared to the court, and he claimed that they brought his client to the court without his consent. All na lie. All na lie. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never, apart from there's a sit at home we did during 30th of May, when we remembered our fallen heroes and heroines, and that was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was around 2019. There's another sit at home we did, I think that was in the year 2018, something like that, once in a year or something like that, after they massacred us during May 30th. I think May 30th, I think that was about high school massacre, if I'm not mistaken. So we decided, the following year, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided, okay, fine, we are not going to protest, rather let us sit at home. So apart from that, which was never a routine, it was never a routine. So now, apart from that, I think somebody has already commented it on in the comment section. Let me bring it to the screen. Yes, somebody had already commented it already in the comment section. You can see it. So that was the only time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ever spoken about sit at home, which had nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with this Monday sit at home that we are So how can Nnamdi Kanu institute sit at home when we are doing sit at home for his rendition, for his release? You see how people lie. That's why I titled it Dismantling ZøØ Media Lies and Propaganda Against Biafra. That is the title of this broadcast. Dismantling the ZøØ Media Lies and Propaganda. You see him. This is how they lie to the people who are not well informed. And they will be clapping for them. Oh, yeah, fantastic. You are wonderful. But until people like us listen to them, I will come out to expose them. Now let's watch him.
Put an end to the sit at home that he instituted in the first place. You know, sit at home was in response to his arrest and detention.
Okay.
But Nnamdi Kanu put an end to the whole idea of
mad people everywhere. See, what do you call it? When somebody shoot himself in the foot, what do you call it? You're going back and forth. How do you call it? Ndị Igbo si n'uche na-abịa abịa nke ọkwa gbafugom n'uche. Nke a gbafugom n'uche. You see the can somebody help me in the comment section? Oh, I have forgotten this word. You see the way he's, stumbling. He is stumbling, going back and forth. How on earth you say that? You first of all say that the sit at home that Nnamdi Kanu instituted by himself, at the same time, the same second, acknowledged that sit at home was because of his arrest and detention. Can you imagine? How is the mighty falling?
Response to his arrest and detention.
You see?
You sit at home that he instituted in the first place. You know, sit at home was in response to his arrest and detention.
You see? So he instituted it from the prison. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. You see? Okwasi asachisigo foboro. Okwasi asachiela fanya. They can no longer see very well. They can no longer think properly because lies have destroyed their sense of reasoning. They can no longer reason properly. They now go front and back. They shoot themselves in the foot. I'm trying to remember that very word to use.
But Nnamdi Kanu put an end to the whole idea of
he is contradicting himself. Oh, thank you. Reminding me. Somebody has reminded me. Where is that comment? Let me look for that comment. Somebody reminded me. Contradicting. Thank you, Norom. Norom, thank you for reminding me. Yes, and not only him. Sansin, again, thank you for reminding me. They are contradicting themselves. He is contradicting himself because of Okwase. Lies and deceit, propaganda. Propaganda cannot stop Biafra from coming. Madman.
That he was the moment that Ifeanyi Ubah and Senator Ifeanyi Ubah and Eze Chukwuemeka approached him. He agreed to put an end to sit at home in the southeast. Not only that, Nnamdi Kanu also, he put it in writing. He put it in writing that he put it in writing in writing so that people will believe that it came from him. That from that moment there will be no sit at home in the southeast.
You see, they are talking about how Nnamdi Kanu put it in writing. But they are not talking about the situation. They are not talking about the situation in which he was, or the situation that pushed him to put it in writing. I watched a video where somebody was talking about, I think PM is the one that posted it. PM posted it this afternoon when somebody was talking about that writing. And he also said that, no, the Prime Minister said, we cannot accept this because Nnamdi Kanu may have written this under duress, because Nnamdi Kanu, with his own senses and as a free man, cannot write or say stop something that is working for freedom of his people. He cannot write that. We know Nnamdi Kanu. We all are students of Nnamdi Kanu or students of Radio Biafra. Yes. So this propagandist, this man called Jide for Holy Ghost fire, it can never be Jide for. This man called Jide, this what's their name? What's the name of these saboteurs from Yoruba land? What's the name of this? Somebody remind me. There's this name known for saboteurs from Yoruba land. As we know, Ifa Jonah from Igbo land. Every saboteur in Igbo land is called Ifa Jonah. Once you are called Ifa Jonah in Igbo land, you don't need anybody to explain to you who you are. You are a saboteur. There's this name from Yoruba land, Afonja. Mad people everywhere. This Afonja, this very Afonja here, Afonja called Jide, has completely ruined his career. He's talking about if Nyoba visited Nnamdi Kanu and Ezenri, and he put it on writing. How can somebody who is under the SS captivity put in writing when we were told that even Michael Zekome, whom out of corruption and zoological republic, controversial justice system, become a son. Let me repeat it again, because I'm going somewhere. Even the so-called Lego luminary, Lego Iroko, Lego Jingoism, Lego whatsoever, Michael Zekome, whom out of corruption and the rotten legal system of the zoological republic of animal kingdom become a son. That is where I'm going. Become a son, was forced to remove his shoes, remove his trousers, remove his coat, and wore only boxers, and even singlet was removed, just to go and see Nnamdi Kanu. And he was subjected to this treatment by the DSS. A son, for that matter, though out of corruption and the rotten, because I don't see anything that makes him a son. Now, if a son, let me call him by his title, if a son could be subjected to that treatment, so what is the notion? What is the notion? What is the secret? What is behind Ifa Nyoba entering into that very DSS room with biro and pen for Nnamdi Kanu to write it down? Because they never went there for Nnamdi Kanu's release. They never went there to see their brother. They went there simply because they want to force Nnamdi Kanu to give instruction to stop sit at home, because sit at home was hitting them hard. Sit at home is still hitting them hard. Sit at home has delegitimized them. Sit at home has completely broken every single thing that make them stand as legitimate, voted or legitimate, representative of the people from the southeast, or should I say from the people of the east. So sit at home, through sit at home, we delegitimized them. Anything that has to do with the government representative in the southeast or east as a whole has been delegitimized by the sit at home. And they know it. They know. All of them they know. Both Ifanyo, all of them, Soludo know. All of them they know. That's why they have been running up and down, fighting so hard to end the sit at home, not just because of the economic sabotage. Of course, that is playing a very big role. Economic sabotage is playing a very, very big role. But that is not just the target. The target is the delegitimization of these criminals as the representative, legally voted representatives of the people from the East. Because it shows that they have no authority over the people that they claim to, to lead. That is what sit at home is doing. So what is the notion behind? What is the notion? What is the reason behind Soludo visiting Nnamdi Kanu and Nnamdi Kanu wearing Atletico Madrid jersey? Nnamdi Kanu taking picture with Soludo and placing him in a very comfortable sitting room. What is the secret behind it? Because all the fight, all those years, was to end the sit at home that has completely delegitimized them from being the legally voted representatives of the people of the Eastern region. That's why they have been running up, but they failed. That's why they are all mad, including this Afonja here. This Afonja. Now let's continue.
So that was another sign for me that Nnamdi Kanu was prepared for peace, was prepared to give up his struggle in exchange for peace.
Just the play. Somebody write me in the comment section. Just the play. Somebody not write me. Tell this man in the comment section. Just the play. Just the play. Mumu man.
And I will encourage the government to explore out of court settlement with Nnamdi Kanu, because I do not see what benefit will derive ultimately from continuing this trial. And Nnamdi Kanu too has seen clearly that he cannot defeat the Nigerian state. He cannot defeat the Nigerian state in this court battle and even in an armed struggle. So
Okugoya. Okugoya, he has said it. Okugoya, my people, the Mumu man has said it. That Nnamdi Kanu cannot defeat the ZøØ government in the court. And Nnamdi Kanu cannot defeat the ZøØ government even in an armed struggle. Now listen. Afonja Jide Afonja, listen to me. Nnamdi Kanu has already defeated the ZøØ in the court that discharged him, even in the highest, not high, in the second most powerful court in the country, in the contraption called Appeal Court. Nnamdi Kanu defeated the ZøØ in Appeal Court. But the government refused to release him. They refused to obey the court orders. They refused to obey the law, which has also delegitimized those who claim to be president or presidency or executive. So if you claim to be operating under democracy, yet you do not respect the rule of law, that means what you have is just a civilian rule. You have somebody who they have placed in Asorok as a president who is a civilian, not a military man. He doesn't have AK-47, but he never operates under a democratical, government. A democratic government. He does not operate a democratic government, but he's a civilian. So you have a civilian rule, not democracy. What you operate in the zoo has nothing to do with democracy. So if you are educated enough, these are Fonja, if you are wise enough, if you are a true journalist, you shouldn't have been talking what you are talking right now. What you should have been saying right now is, no, this is wrong. We are operating democratic government. Therefore, you must obey the rule of law. When the court of competent jurisdiction say this man has no case to answer, free him, then the executive has no any other right other than to obey the court rule. So if your head is clear, if your mind is clear, if your brain is working properly, if you understand the true meaning of democracy, you should be telling your so-called government, listen, the court of competent jurisdiction, appeal court for that matter, has discharged this man. What is he still doing under the DSS custody? So this should have been your clamor for now. Not to come and tell me, Nnamdi Kanu has seen he cannot defeat the government in the court, while he has already defeated them. Or you want to go and try him under the kangaroo court, the kangaroo, which is what we have been seeing. It no go work. It's not going to work because we are already fighting and we are going to break the jinx. Now, he said that he has seen that he cannot defeat the so-called government under the whatsoever under armed struggle. So that means nobody should talk about fighting for freedom anymore all over the world. Or is it only in the zoo that people have fought or people are fighting to free themselves from captivity? Is it only in the zoo? So other countries that have fought to free themselves and they are free. So are you telling me that the government they fought was not a government? Or the government they fought was not strong, like the zoo government? Or the government that they fought to free themselves was so petite, was so loose, was not strategic? That's why they lost the war and the emerging nations become free. So I want this Afonja to elaborate on this, because as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, there is no way, no place in history. I say no place in history. Listen and listen very good, my people. That's why when you see the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, speaking on Abambona Abasimbike, because he knows what he's doing and he knows the path he has chosen. The path that he has chosen is the path of victory. Not that we are not going to have our own casualties. We will have our own casualties for sure. But our casualty is very, very minimal compared with the casualties from the zoo government. Are you paying attention? So what am I trying to say here? There is no place in history. Somebody should correct me in the comment section if I make any mistake on what I want to say right now. There is no place in history that any government in the world has ever defeated a guerrilla warfare, especially for secessionist movement. Please correct me. I stand to be corrected. I am very, very, very okay and ready to accept correction. I stand to be corrected. No government in the world, I'm not even talking about Africa. It is easy, let me tell you, in Africa, it's very, very easy to win a guerrilla warfare against any government in Africa because, first of all, Africa does not have technology. Pay attention. Let me also boost your morale for you to know, because I know some of our men are also listening. Let me boost your morale in a very genuine and truthful way. Not propaganda, not in a propaganda or propagandist way. Let me boost your morale. It is as easy as a kid, a little baby learning ABCD. It is easy as ABCD for a group of people or an imagination to win a guerrilla warfare in Africa than in the Western world as it stands today. Because of what? In Africa, there is no technology. No technology in Africa. There is no technology. That is number one. Even in Europe, where you know that Europe is already, already synchronized. Europe is synchronized with technology. It is not like that in Africa. In Africa, there is nothing like synchronization. We don't have technology in Africa. That is number one. And number two is that Africa is bushy. Africa is bushy, very, very bushy. So anything about winning a guerrilla warfare in Africa is, in fact, every government in Africa has zero chance. You know what is zero? Zero chance of any government in Africa defeating a guerrilla warfare. That is the truth. The honest truth is that. Because there are two things that would have given them a chance, but we don't have it. Technology is zero. Not civilization, development is zero. So everywhere is bushy. How many cities do we have in Nigeria? Everywhere is zero. So how do you tell me, hey, you cannot defeat them by armed struggle? Who told you we are not in, what do you call it, conventional warfare? Musa declared asymmetric warfare and jungle warfare. Musa declared it. So what are we talking about? How do you defeat people you don't see? How do you defeat people you don't see? So tell this Afonja called Jide, or whatever they call him, Jida Afonja, that he should go back to school and learn history. Something is missing. He needs to go and learn history. No government in the world has ever defeated a guerrilla warfare. Those who started it and they ended up without achieving what they wanted or what they wanted to, to achieve are those that started it and the government went into negotiation with them and they surrendered and went back to the same and reintegrated. Not that they were defeated. They negotiated, and whatever they were agitating for was given to them. They laid down their arms and reintegrated into the country. They are the only people, and it was never a defeat because there was an agreement, there was a negotiation, agreement was reached, and everybody came to terms, and they continued with their respective nations. It's never a defeat, never. And many of them were not fighting for, they were not fighting for, should I call it ideology, or I think ideology, yeah, that should be the right word to use. They were not fighting based on ideology. They were just fighting based on maybe marginalization. They were not fighting for they were not fighting to against extermination. We are fighting against extermination, not just marginalization. So many of them that agree for negotiation were fighting against marginalization. So when you negotiate and you are being assured that marginalization is going to end, you have no any other reason to continue to fight. But we are fighting against extermination. That is the reason why it is not near impossible, God forbid. It is impossible, total impossible to negotiate and stop the Biafra liberation. It is impossible, 100% impossible. So these are different things, quite different. They have nothing in common. Now let's listen to him and then
look at it this way. He wanted the court to grant him bail. His bail application was rejected. He also wanted the charges against him dismissed by the court. Again, the court refused to dismiss the charges. Remember, he won his case. The case he filed over his rendition from Kenya. He defeated the federal government in the Court of Appeal. It was thought that from that moment he would be released from detention. But in spite of winning that case, Nnamdi Kanu was not released.
So what cost it?
And the name.
What's cost it? What was the cost?
Your day?
What was the cost? Jide, can you tell us what was the cost? And who should you have been speaking to right now? At this point in time, are you not the one, as a journalist, who should have been crying and shouting on top of your voice? Shouting on top of your voice in the media. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. You should allow the man to go. You should respect the rule of law, even though I do not like what he's agitating for, even though I don't like him, even though I don't want our so-called country to be divided. But since the rule of law has said, let him go because you are the one who committed an offense against him, he has to go. Jide, you are here bragging. Even though he won the case, yet the federal government has not released him. So, which kind of government are you running? Now, let's listen to him.
Perhaps the fact that Simon Ekpa, the so-called Prime Minister of Biafra, and in exile.
You see, you see how he skip it. They are panicking. These people are afraid. You see how he skip the government. Let me play that again. Let me play that again. Listen to him, my people.
Simon Ekpa, who in the name of sit at home and in the name of Biafra agitation. Perhaps the fact that Simon Ekpa, the so-called Prime Minister of Biafra and in exile.
Did you see that? Hypocrites. He couldn't mention the word. He couldn't mention the word. He said the so-called, fine, no problem. You can use so-called, no problem. But he said the so-called Prime Minister of Biafra in exile. How can be? The mother Afonja. He said the so-called Prime Minister of Biafra in exile, not Biafra government in exile, but Biafra in exile. You see that? They are afraid to, the same way they are afraid to mention Biafra Liberation Army. The same way they are afraid to mention it is the same way they are afraid to mention Biafra government in exile. That's why this idiot has said the so-called Biafra government, the so-called Biafra, the so-called Prime Minister of Biafra in exile. Okay, now let's listen to him.
That's right.
His decision to form a faction, his decision to break away from IPOB,
you see,
has clearly complicated matters.
Let's hear him again.
His decision to break away to form a faction, minister of Biafra and in exile.
That's right.
His decision to form a faction, his decision to break away from IPOB.
Now, this idiotic man, I'm going to bring another video. I will bring another video that was, shared this afternoon by the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. I will bring that very video right now to the screen so that I want to play this video for this moronic individual so that he can listen to it. I want Jide to come here to listen to people with sound minds. People with sound minds. Remember what he said that made me brought this video. He said, even though Simon Ekpa, the so-called Prime Minister of Biafra in exile, his decision to break away and form a faction. I want you to remember that. That is the reason why I am going to play this video. Now, let's pay attention to this.
Today, can he wrestle his followership from Simon Ekpa?
The question is, if Nnamdi Kanu is released today, can he wrestle his followership from Simon Ekpa? That is the question from this, host, from this journalist. Now, let us listen to the answer from this very man.
There's a division because of the arrest and detention. So Simon Ekpa felt that he has to carry on the struggle now that the leader has been taken in.
Did you hear when I told you earlier on that somebody has to continue with the struggle? That somebody has to be the face of the struggle? Because if Nnamdi Kanu is in the detention, and we are saying, let us fight for his release. And when he comes out, then we will carry on. Biafra will die. It will go out of the minds of the world. People will forget about Biafra. Maybe Nnamdi Kanu, we don't know how many years or how long he's going to stay in detention. Then by the time he comes back, people must have forgotten about Biafra. And then he will come again to start awakening the minds of the people. And we don't know if he will be having that same energy anymore. I said these things long ago, since 2021. When I was calling them, I was telling the criminals, the defunct members of the members of the defunct DOS. I was telling them, look, it's not a must you come to, to broadcast on Radio Biafra. If you don't know how to speak, if you don't know, you can be wise, but you don't know how to talk. Everybody has their own gift. You can be wise mentally, but when you open mouth, people will hear different things from the way you reason. It's a gift. So it's not a must that you come out to speak on Radio Biafra. You can even write your statement and give it to Mazi Simon Ekpa for the fact that he has been told to take a slot on Radio Biafra to broadcast. So you must not come there to speak. You don't have the talent. You don't have the gift to address the public. People, it is a gift given to human beings by God. There are people that have the gift to address public. People have the gift for public address. You may not have that gift. So somebody has to take over. Somebody has to be the face of the struggle. Not that you are assuming not that you are, organizing coup against Nnamdi Kanu. No, because if you are fighting for his release and you are forgetting about Biafra, then by the time he comes back, Biafra might have been a thing of the past, and he will be disappointed. Yes.
That is it. So if he's released today, it is likely, very likely, that he has to come to terms with Simon Akpa to back down. Simon Akpa is only...
Now, there's an error there, as rightly stated by the PM. He said to back down. Mazi Simon Ekpa is not backing down and can never back down. It is not possible. Mazi Simon Ekpa can never back down. Because of what? The freedom we are fighting for is paramount above every other thing. The only thing we are going to do is this. The government has been established. In every country today, or not every country, in most of the country today, you have president, you have prime minister. Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Mazi Simon Ekpa is the prime minister. Even in Finland, there is president of Finland and there is also prime minister of Finland. When Nigeria was, practicing that kind of government, there was a president in the name of Nnamdi Kanu, and there was a prime minister also. So it is not a must that Mazi Simon Ekpa, back down. What do you mean by backing down? What if Nnamdi Kanu comes out and say, okay, I don't have the strength and the energy to do what I was doing before 2021 because of the inhuman treatment and the condition that he has been subjected into. And you want Simon Ekpa to back down so that Biafra agitation will die down? No. So, but if Nnamdi Kanu comes out and the energy is still there, which I know that is still there, and then he is still ready to carry out, to go to, then that will be a very big plus to our freedom. A very big plus. Because when you have somebody like Nnamdi Kanu and you have somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa working hand in hand in this agitation, my brothers and sisters, if Nnamdi Kanu is not coming out with the Biafran flag, then just give it only 1 year. Not, what am I saying, 1 year? 1 year might be too much. Just give it just few moments. Biafra will be here with us. Even before that before that December 2nd. Even before that December 2nd, Biafra will be realized. If Nnamdi Kanu is released today and he is not shaking, nothing, he's still the same person we used to know, Biafra might come before 2nd of December. So anything Mazi Simon Ekpa backing down because of the release of Nnamdi Kanu is a lie. Rather, they will work hand in hand, because Mazi Simon Ekpa has never in any way decided or thought in his mind of, sidelining Nnamdi Kanu in order to take over the agitation. There's nothing like that. Now let's listen to him.
Acting because of his absence. He didn't say that he has overcome Simon Akpa. Very likely that he has to come to terms with Simon Akpa to back down. Simon Akpa is only acting because of his absence. He didn't say that he has overthrown him. Even when he wrote a letter from DSS custody directing that there should be no...
Did you hear him? He didn't say that he has overthrown him. That is one of the reasons I'm playing this very video. He didn't say that he has overthrown him. Let's listen to him.
Only acting because of his absence. He didn't say that he has overthrown him. Even when he wrote a letter from DSS custody directing that there should be no more sit at home and there should be no more arms against the state, Simon Ekpa said until he comes out physically, that he will not believe that.
And come to Finland.
He wrote that under duress.
Of
course. That he wrote it. You cannot freely write something in this area. When you are in custody, you now write something. It is not voluntary. So it is on that basis that he continued doing what he's doing. Simon Ekpa is the disciple of Nnamdi Kanu.
Wow.
And a very dedicated, loyal disciple.
Wow. Somebody has finally spoken the truth on television in the zoo. Somebody has finally been bold enough to speak the truth on television. Wow, this is wonderful.
Nnamdi Kanu, and a very dedicated, loyal disciple. I believe that if Nnamdi Kanu comes out, he'll be able to tame Samuel Nakba. And many of these criminals that have cast into the struggle or kind of tried to hide under IPOB to commit atrocities, they will be fished out or they will be controlled. Remember that this man, Nnamdi Kanu, people listen to him. So if he comes now and declares a truce, I believe that it will work. And those who try to violate that truce will easily be fished out. They'll be sidelined. They'll be exposed. Now, people are picking up arms out of resistance or protest to his extraordinary rendition. That is it. Before he was extraordinarily renditioned, there was no spate of violence like we see after his arrest. So it is a kind of protest against the way the state has treated him. So I believe that if he should come out now, all that will abate. But let me also say that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not entitled to be listening to one person or the other as to whether or not he will exercise his powers under the Constitution. Section 174 of the Constitution, subsection 3, like my learned friend pointed out earlier, only gave 3 conditions for the exercise of the power of withdrawal of criminal prosecution. He says that the Attorney General should only give vent to 3 factors. One is public interest. The second one is interest of justice. The third one, to ensure that such withdrawal is not against due process of law. And then we are talking about justice here. Interest of justice. It is on that basis the president must act, no matter what any of his commissioners thinks, no matter what any Southeast governors think, in the interest of justice. Because if you can release the chairman or leader of Miat Allah that has been saying all kind of terrible things against Nigerian state, you release him, you withdraw his charge and he goes home, and then you release Showore and he goes home, you release Sunday Igboho, withdraw his charge and he goes home. Then where is justice? Where is equity?
All right. Now let us go back to the idiot. You know, the reason why I played this video is because somebody's asking if this man is in the zoo. Of course he's in the zoo. Of course he's in the zoo. So the reason why I played this very video is simply because of what that stupid man said. That idiot, that what's the name? That Afonja Jide. That is the reason why I played the video. At least let us teach them. They believe that they are wise. They believe they are educated, but they are educated. They are what Nnamdi Kanu called what's the name? What's that name? Somebody remind me. There's that name Nnamdi Kanu called them. There's that name. Can you remind me in the comment section, please? There's that name Nnamdi Kanu called them. Is it prophet? Hi. Somebody help me. There's that name Nnamdi Kanu called them. All these educated morons. They have a name. Intellectual. Thank you, the truth. Intellectuals. They are intellectuals. They believe that they're educated, but they are actually intellectuals. That is the reason why I played that very video. Because this man claimed that Mazi Simon Ekpa has, has taken over. Let's listen to him. Let's listen to him.
His decision to form a faction. His decision to break away from IPOB has clearly complicated matters. If Nnamdi Kanu had adopted this posture about 1.5 years ago,
that is to show you, even though what you think is true, which I know it is not, but peradventure that there's any atom of reality on what you are saying, that is to show you that what we are doing is the thing of the spirit. And it takes only a man who is spiritually inclined to understand the things of the spirit. A carnally minded individual like you can never understand the things of the spirit. So that is to show you, that is to show the ZøØ that even though you have taken or captured the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, that does not in any way stop the Biafra from coming. That is the reason why God has raised somebody like Mazi Samanepa to carry on the movement. You can call it whatever you like, call it whichever name, a decision to form or to break away from IPOB or whatever. It is your own business and your own cup of tea. The Biafran people are not listening to this your junk. Now, let's listen to him. And of course, the line is open. You can see the number on your screen. The line is open as we keep on dissecting this idiot. The line is open. You can call me and make your contribution at the same time while we continue moving. The line is open and the number is on your screen. +358 41 585 1133. I repeat, +358 41 585 1133. So let's continue.
Many would have believed that his release will bring an immediate end to killings in the southeast. But clearly, many people are not even taking Nnamdi Kanu's instructions. They are listening to Simon Ekpa. And even when Nnamdi Kanu announced that he had cancelled sit at home, he wrote in his own hand to cancel it. Yeah. Sit at home is still being enforced by cultists, brigands, and some undesirable elements who are listening to Simon Ekpa, who have been brainwashed.
That's right.
And see, in the
he said, who have been brainwashed. Imagine this man. Chai, alone, this ZøØ. These are the reasons why we can never in any way be together with this set of people. With this set of people. And even though Biafra comes tomorrow, we are not going to allow the people with this kind of mindset and brain to see, to speak to the public. Because this set of people will be chased to the north, to Guausa. And who are this set of people? They are the governors. They are the senators. You see the names he was mentioning, Ifeanyi Oba and Co. They are the political igwes. They will all be chased away to the north so that Biafra land will be sanitized to the proper mind, for the proper set of people with proper mindset.
Sit at home, an opportunity to perpetuate criminality.
I need to confirm if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, good. So, speaking about, because just like you said, there have been several calls and orders for Nnamdi Kanu's release. For instance, the United Nations had asked the Nigerian government to immediately release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and pay him adequate compensations for the arbitrary violation of his fundamental human rights. In fact, several elders, just like you said, from the Southeast met with the government of Buhari, but this didn't yield any results. Are there any indications, looking at, the current situation, are there any indications that this current administration might do anything different from the Buhari regime regarding Nnamdi Kanu's case?
It's difficult to say with finality because, you know, political leaders are influenced most of the time by people around them. You know, I may decide that, okay, in the interest of harmony, in the interest of peace in the Southeast, let's have this person released. After all, Obafemi he was in prison, you know, jailed, accused of treason, and the Gawan regime released him and even made him a minister. So it's possible for the president to.
That's right.
Seeing that Nnamdi Kanu appears to be remorseful now, or be showing signs of remorse.
Yeah.
Take a good look at the matter and say, okay, let's leave this man alone.
That's right.
At
That's
56, a man who will feel that, look, age is catching up with him and that some level of rascality associated with youth is not meant for someone like him. So I really want this opportunity for negotiated settlements to be explored. It is my wish to see that happen.
That's right, Mikhail. So let me take some comments. Abayomi Abi says, after all the bullying and blackmail, now he wants to negotiate. Federal government must never negotiate with well, I won't call the word he used. He said he must face justice and pay for his crimes against the country to teach others. Ismail Akinkumi says Babajide has been clamoring for political solutions to Kanu matters for a long time. And I'm agreeing with BKO. God bless BKO. God bless Southeast and God bless Nigeria. Nelson Adefe says, BKO, I disagree with your position of releasing Nnamdi Kanu, whose action has taken lives, exchanged fire with Nigerian armed forces, stagnated.
Now listen to the people's comment and his response.
Nigerian economy and did a lot of harms it caused. Destiny Ifeanyi says, even if he begs to find his way out, he must continue. No retreat, no surrender. That's someone saying that Kanu must, continue in that stride. Mohammed Sabi says, Babajide Nnamdi Kanu will never be released. He must face the music. Banji Okesofo says, well, I can only hope that Kanu is sincere. Nothing is as good as out of court settlement. Bola Mary, just for you to go, says a treasonable felony case is not dismissed based on sentiments or emotions. It's a serious case against the state. He must face the consequences of his action. Ibrahim Alausa says, I believe IPOP should demonstrate good faith by ending the sit-at-home protest, which could encourage the federal government to consider releasing him. And Uba Ike, the last I'll be taking for now, says, the only way out is freedom of Biafra in peace. We Igbos are done with Nigeria, both in spirit and soul. So there are so many people who are saying Nnamdi Kanu should not be released. There are others who are saying, no, even if he's released, they would not want to, back down on their secessionist agenda. So there are some who are of the views that Kanu should never be released because there are audio evidences of his clearly calling for attack on Lagos State public property, and even allegedly directing his foot soldiers to attack Governor Sanwo-Olu and the infrastructure.
Wahala. Where is this propaganda leading these fools to? Where is this propaganda leading these fools? I'm going to analyze that. I'm going to talk about that, but let me pick this call on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, you're welcome. Please tell us where you're joining us from. You're welcome to the show. All right. We lost the call. We lost him. All right. Look at. I want you to listen to what this man said. Propaganda. Listen to his propaganda.
He's always clearly calling for attack on Lagos State public property, and even allegedly directing his foot soldiers to attack Governor Sanwo-Olu and the infrastructure.
Caller on WhatsApp, please tell us where you're joining us from. You're welcome to the show.
This is the miracle of the United States of America.
You're welcome.
This man called Ide Afonse. I thought that what happens before or the time past would have taught this kind of stupid man a loss. But from what he is doing or saying here, it's actually telling me that Satan can never repent.
Never.
Because this man you see here know exactly the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He is just intentionally trying to tow a different way, just to deceive the gullible zoological republic of animal kingdom with the people inside them.
Mm.
This man knows that he is telling lies, and I'm very, very, very much ashamed of him. Let me tell you, I like this man, somehow, how he used to talk.
Mm.
Like stating the fact sometimes. But what he is doing here now is telling me that ZøØ is actually capable of swallowing any kind of person.
Of course.
This man has been swallowed by the ZøØ.
Mm.
I believe he has the truth in him, but if you listen to him carefully, you know that he's battering with words.
Yeah.
Shooting himself on the foot
Mm.
and trying to do some collateral damages about that. I think that he thought that he's talking to stupid people that doesn't reason. I don't know how much they paid him, but he will ever live to regret whatever he is doing here because he knows that he's doing wrong thing. He's actually telling lies.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging Biafra from here to continue with the good work and with the right path we already going. There is no relief. They say no leave, no transfer, no surrender. We are not going anywhere. In fact, even if it's going to take us another 10 years, but it will never take us another 10 years. Just a few months now, even in our name, they will see it with their own eye. People who actually is in support of this Biafra is going to come and come more and more as it have just started. I saw the guy that work with our lobbyists, carrying boldly with the Biafran flag, advertising it in this United States of America. I love that. So now, please let us continue with what we are doing and continue to encourage Biafrans and continue to dish out all this truth because we are 101% behind you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. God bless you for that wonderful contribution. I appreciate you. All right. I'm going to dissect the lies said by this very man. Now, let's listen to him. Because if something is not done, these lies will be, will be consumed by some people, and they will think or believe that the man is actually telling the truth. The lies will now turn to truth or to reality. That is what we are here to do. Caller on WhatsApp, please tell us where you're joining us from. You're welcome.
Hello. Biafra Unite, I greet you.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Good evening from here. So, I am very, very happy for what you are doing for Biafrans. And like what Nnamdi Kanu said earlier, that these Nigerian journalists, they are the people that destroyed Nigeria country. This man called Jide, I think is very, very tribalistic in speaking word. He doesn't put words straight the way it ought to be. He's always, he don't speak the truth at all. This man is the one, because I know he's very happy for the detention of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. this very man, Jide, and he has failed because he never knows Simon Eba will take a new dimension, like as he promised. So he's confused about the Simon Eba activities. So I am very, very happy that he's crying, because he's crying. He has feeling the pain of what they were doing to our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. You understand? So I'm very, very happy that Simon Eba has chosen the path he take to bring up Biafra to the next, because they were thinking when they kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra will die off.
Exactly.
So thank you for your good work, and may God bless you.
Thank you. Bless you too, my brother. God bless you too. All right. Now, let's listen and address this fool.
Evidences of his clearly released, because there are audio evidences of his clearly calling for attack on Lagos State public property, and even allegedly directing his foot soldiers to attack Governor Sanwo-Olu and the infrastructure using unprintable words. And they argued that how would...
Hey, my people, Owa Diego. Owa Diego. You see this word? You see the people living in this world? I don't know which word to use to qualify the people who live in this world. I'm telling you the truth, my people. I don't know which kind of human beings are living in this world. Can you imagine this man saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu directed his foot soldiers? I don't know if it's like people are not paying attention to that word. This man saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu directed his foot soldiers to attack Governor Sanwo-Olu. This Governor Sanwo-Olu in question is a governor who governs Lagos State in southwestern part of the ZøØ, while Biafra land is located in the current south, or should I say, in the old eastern region of the ZøØ, which has absolutely nothing to do with the southwest. Moreover, the people he call foot soldiers, which I don't know who they are, but peradventure, let us assume somehow he's talking about the then Eastern Security Network. When the NSAS protest happened in the ZøØ, the Eastern Security Network had not been launched. I don't know if somebody is paying attention, please. The time NSAS happened in Nigeria, ESN was never formed or launched. Because the last time we heard anything about NSAS protest was on the 20th of August. Sorry, 20th of October, 2020. 20th of October, 2020. I am very, very certain that I am right. I am certain that I'm correct. That was the last time we heard something about NSAS, on the 20th of October, 2020, when thousands of Nigerian youths were massacred in cold blood at Lekki Toll Gate. That was the end of NSAS. It never go beyond that. That was the end. Why the Eastern Security Network was launched on the 12th, was it 12th or 14th? You can correct me in the comment section, please. On the 12th of December, that's same 2020. On the 12th of December, correct me, either 12th or 14th, but I think it's 12th. On the 12th of December, 2020, 2 months later, after the massacre of Biafrans in Obibo. And here's somebody sitting down in the studio alleging that Nnamdi Kanu instructed his foot soldiers to attack a sitting governor in Lagos, all the way, Lagos State. Hi! Why all these lies? Why all these lies? Do you think you can win this battle with propaganda? ZøØ media. You think you can win this battle with propaganda when we have all the facts and figures? When we have facts and figures that Nnamdi Kanu said that they should attack Sanwo-Olu or destroy properties. How? When Nnamdi Kanu was even shouting, when they set ablaze, was it Channels Television or this TVC? There's a station set ablaze. I could remember vividly. Nnamdi Kanu was angry with Nigerian youths. Angry, very, very angry. Saying that nobody should touch media house or banks. Nnamdi Kanu said it. That nobody should touch media house or bank. Every bank in the zoo must be intact. Nobody should go close to banks and media houses. Nnamdi Kanu was saying it, and he was very angry when either this TVC or Channels Television was burnt during that time. If you have the knowledge of what I'm saying, you can correct me in the comment section. Which of the stations was burnt during that very period? Caller on WhatsApp, please. You're welcome.
Remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war. which is actually happening right now, why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why there was a Biafran war in the first place, understand why it still goes on, ask the people what they want, and as it is right now, if they asked the people 10 years ago, the needs will be different, because right now all they want is a referendum. All they want is a referendum, and if they get that referendum, they're going to get out of Nigeria. They're going to vote and ratify that they need to be separate from Nigeria. The thing that the federal government of Nigeria fears about this is because they'll lose most of their resources, and they'll lose most of their manpower and that skilled labor. This is something they should have addressed, to prevent the anthills building a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that. You said if probably the federal government of Nigeria will have asked the people of Biafra what they want 10 years ago, things would have been different. Maybe the needs would have been different, but as it is today, the only call, and it remains so, is a referendum and nothing short of it. Let me hear from Linda Alela what you have to say about it. How can we heal the divide in Nigeria, more so with the Biafra crisis?
All right. Thank you so much, Tawish. Of course, the rest of the panel and the viewer. I've just gone an extra mile to try and understand all this crisis. It's a bit of history in Nigeria. And the Biafra problem is more than meets the eye. And it has gone to a level whereby I would say, it's a point of no return. I was looking to some report, or maybe at some reports that were suggesting that maybe in the year 2023 or years to come, Nigeria is likely to split even more into not just